Samantha.
Hi, Simone.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you tired?
Yeah.
Does it
I
have
drank too much.
I thought you were gonna say you work too much, or it was something like work related.
No. It was the Potters.
The Potters.
The
Got
Potters,
it.
yeah.
Got it. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you watched the last episode.
Then you know.
Yeah.
I wonder, thinking about work, and maybe hate is a strong term.
Never.
But does everybody hate their job? Yes. 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 Samantha? Yeah. Yeah?
I don't know if everyone hates their job, but I think there is an unspoken thought that a lot of us have, whether consciously or subconsciously, of like, why is this what I'm spending the majority of my time doing, right?
Real.
Like, there are people who genuinely get fulfillment from their roles, their jobs. Like, they feel like what they're doing in their 9 to 5 or their full-time job is contributing to society. I think there are a lot of us where the roles that we find ourselves in because of our skill sets, like the roles that pay our bills, don't necessarily make us feel like we're helping the world. I feel like I'm contributing to society when I teach a yoga class. Teaching a yoga class does not pay my bills. You make like $15 from teaching a yoga class.
Okay, so question, and it kind of plays off of our first Reddit story of the day, is you're talking about how you like teaching yoga. But if we're going to be technical, that is still labor, it's work. What happens when you hate all work?
Oof.
Any work. Right.
I don't know.
That's just another level of, I'm sorry, girl, you in danger because your bills got to be paid.
Get married.
Okay, maybe. All right, so today's first story on Find Path, the user is deleted. The question is, how to find a path when you hate work. Right. OP says, I know it's dumb. Everyone hates working. I know. I'm spoiled. Yes, all of that. Okay, now that that's over, ... I know, queen, that's hilarious. I truly hate work. I find it extremely difficult to find any work fulfilling or interesting. At every job I've had zero passion or desire to excel or go the extra mile. I dread showing up, and I can't wait to clock out at 5. I don't want to be there. I don't care about the business product. I don't care about the customers. It's not even hard. It's just draining. Damn. I've been in my current role as an analyst at the bank for 5 years, and I've learned almost nothing. They set a low bar, and I met it. I guess they wanted me to be a self-starter, and that's just not gonna be me.
Amen.
I'm not gonna seek out extra work. I don't care about the work. I just do enough to get by. I'm now one of the least productive people at work, and it's embarrassing. I feel stupid. I can't leave because I have no experience to the point of date, but I do hate this job. I feel like I'll never make it anywhere doing anything. I feel hopeless, and the idea of spending my life doing jobs I hate and sucking at it because I can't stand spending more time on it. I don't know. Rant over. Real spiral.
That's a real spiral, and I hate to give the obvious response, but do you hate all work or do you just hate that job?
Dude, I feel you, because OP said, quite literally, it's their first job. So, like, you probably, babe,
there's hate for you out there.
You hate that job, and I understand the need for wanting something stable and staying at a role for 5 years. Honestly, that's not nothing. That is a long time. That is a huge investment.
That's more than most people.
Hello, and if you feel like you gave as much as you could give and you're not growing, then it's probably time to reassess your current role. Because I feel like this person is just grouping labor as a whole with this one pretty shitty job.
Yep.
Yeah. One commenter under the post, person of interest 85, says, what made you take that job in the first place? The person goes on to say, so here's an outside the box idea. Stop looking at your job as a soul draining ordeal and look at it as a way to fund your streaming subscriptions. I've heard it said that there are callings and occupations. A calling is the thing that your gut tells you is your life's mission. An occupation is the thing that finances your calling. Einstein's calling was to discover the secrets of the universe. His occupation was to be a clerk in the patent office so that he can finance his research. Maybe your calling is to experience television. Who am I to judge? When you get to the office, think, this is the money I make today, and I will pay for TV.
Yep.
For all you know, your path to satisfaction is the perpetual search for more shows, more content from every nation. I've heard of people with weirder passions. It doesn't matter if no one recognizes your viewing exploits. The viewing is its own reward. As a character of the greatest show ever put it, your job won't save you, won't make you whole, won't fill you up. Life's what happens when you wait for what's never coming.
I think that comment just changed my life.
Bro, when I read it, he ate with that.
Wow.
He, she, they, whatever, you ate with that.
Ate the fuck up, left no crumbs.
Hello, when you're referencing Einstein, first of all,
Einstein!
I did not know Einstein had a 9 to 5.
I thought
Okay?
Einstein was just like a mathematician and got paid by universities to be a nerd.
No, hello, he was working as a clerk. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. And the man, like, defined modern science.
MC squared.
Imagine if, like, our 9 to 5 is just funding, I don't know, the new equation to discover whatever fucking matter is. I don't know.
M equals B plus C.
Yes, exactly.
I did
Heard it here first. But I think to the commenter's point, what I appreciated is they're saying, like, even if you don't define what the fuck matter is, it can be as simple as discovering TV shows from every continent. Like, that matters too. Figure out what your passion is, and it very likely isn't tied to whatever work you're doing. And honestly, like, that's okay. That's really, really okay.
I think that perspective is so helpful too, like occupation versus your calling.
I know. And when you're, I guess, trained in college, they never teach you. They literally say, like, they as in the people who
teach you in college.
Yeah, they taught me. I don't know if everybody's collegiate experience is the same, but I can speak to mine. They really say, figure out your passion and then monetize that. But I think it gets so murky and muddled when you're working in corporate America and you realize, like, oh my god, this is actually not my path. Like, we have to detach from the idea of somebody else's company bringing us the joy that we thought that it would, when we're responsible for finding our own joy, and likely outside of the bounds of your 9 to 5.
And also just detaching from the idea that, like, your passion should be what's making you money. I tried to monetize my passion. My passion is anime. I love watching anime. And I had so much fun during COVID building up an anime TikTok at I Am Sam Strong on TikTok. And it was fun, and I was growing a following. But the second I started to care more about, like, the following and how I could make money from it,
it takes your joy.
It stopped being fun. I stopped having ideas.
Hello, I have a similar passion, but I'm not going to tell you guys my business because I actually don't want you to find me.
I do.
No, you're not going to find me.
We'll find her.
But it was the same thing. I was like, I really love this. I'm chit-chatting on the internet. And then it became, oh my god, this is like a job. And I was having fun. It's such an unfortunate scam, is the fact that my freaking corporate American-born bread mind is like, how do I monetize everything? And it just takes to joy. Like, why can't I just chill, bro? Capitalism.
It's a poison.
Another question I had doing this research for this episode was like, does it ever get better?
Yes.
Oh, it gets better.
It has to, right? Because eventually we get to retire.
Right.
Right.
So I have this post from the Gen X thread from 14MTH30N3, who says, as I hit my mid-40s, I am beginning to hate working more and more. I don't hate my job, just the fact that I still have to work for a living and spend a significant amount of time, of my precious time, doing it. Anyone else in the same boat? And how are you dealing with it? Edit. I am also wondering how many of us are working jobs that are detrimental to our health. By the time you're ready to retire, we are either dead or just dealing with nonstop health issues.
Yep.
That post was very sobering for me. Because I'm like, you think at 5 o'clock on a Friday, you're like, I made it. Until you realize, okay, only 35 more years.
Why would you say that to me?
No, but
why would you say that to me?
I'm sorry, but it's literally so true.
Yeah.
I don't know how to sugarcoat this for you. Because this entire Gen X thread is just like, bro, I get it.
Chill.
I get it, homie.
That's why we need a 4-day work week.
Yeah, but what's shocking to me is the framing of this question, because he's saying, as I hit my mid-40s, I am beginning to hate work. Baby girl!
28 years old.
Hello! And like, it's like, oh my god. It doesn't get better. Like,
doesn't.
now what? Now what?
You figure out how to get out sooner?
Sure. There are just so many commenters on this thread saying, just resonating with what OP is saying.
A lot of us are feeling that way.
Someone says, 59 and have felt the same pretty much since I started working at 13. I don't hate my job. I just hate that I was born into circumstances in which I'll probably have to do the daily grind until I drop dead.
Not to like minimize some of the atrocities that I'm sure this group of people went through, but it reminds me of like learning about serfdom.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Serfdom, when in Europe they were called serfs, and they essentially lived on and worked your land if you were a lord, and they didn't earn wages.
Like indentured servitude?
Yes, but they were called serfs. Producer, can you define serf, please?
It was a system of forced labor in medieval Europe, where peasants, known as serfs, were bound to the land and owed labor to a lord in exchange for protection and the right to farm on a small plot of land for themselves.
It's indentured
It's
servitude.
part of feudalism.
Yes, it was part of feudalism. Essentially, they, were bound to the land, forced to work on it, did not earn wages, but they got protection in return. What are our jobs? We get the protection of not being homeless.
Oh my god! Oh my god! We're living in medieval Europe. Oh my
Serfdom 2.0.
god!
But at least we have...
What? Healthcare? We don't even have that. This is not good. I mean, okay, maybe it's not bad, but it's not great.
It's not great, but I do think there is something that makes me feel good.
Please share with the class, because I'm not feeling good.
Just hearing that other people think this way, because even, I look at my mom's generation. My mom is 68, right?
Mm.
Recently, as I have been between jobs, I made a comment to her that I was debating when to start a new job because I wanted to give myself potentially an extra week of downtime to rest, to recover,
Right.
to recover from burnout. And she said, rest? You should be rested up. You've been resting for over a week. You should be very rested.
Mom!
And I said, that's you. That's a your generation problem.
It is though. My
Yeah.
mom is of a similar age bracket, and like, she... Okay, I was just in Miami last week.
Okay.
I was reminded of her work habits,
Mhm.
and like, it was insane to me. She was so stressed about getting to work at 7:50 because she had to be there before 8 a.m. And I was like, Mom, okay, what happens if you're there at 8:10? Like, what happens?
801.
Yeah, like, what happens? The lady could not wrap her brain around being 10 minutes late. She couldn't. Like, what? And I said, okay, you're there 10 minutes early. Can you leave 10 minutes
Early?
before? That's not how that works, sweetie. But why isn't that how that works?
Mm.
Why? I'm sorry. I'm not a
Because your Lord only protects you if you were there from 8 or before 8 until when you're supposed to leave.
I literally cannot get past the fact that I'm a Smurf. Like,
And you're not a Smurf, Simone, you're a Smurf.
Why did you
S-E-R-F. S-E-R-F. You're not blue.
I thought you said Smurf. I thought we were Smurf. Someone says, I've also thought that it should be required to work from 20 to 40, then be retired from 40 to 60, and then work until you're dead. Would get to enjoy life while you're still able. Something like that anyway. Okay, that's an interesting...
I think they're onto something.
No. I mean, I like get the spirit.
I do. Because you want to work when you're older.
Yeah,
Working
yeah.
when you're older keeps you alive because it gives you purpose.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I literally get it.
Yeah.
But the issue is like when you have to do it.
Yeah.
So that you can eat food
Yeah.
and have health care.
What keeps being quoted to me when I wrestle with these thoughts is FIRE method, which is, I don't know, something invest, retire early, basically.
Sure.
Like fully, I don't know, but you essentially live well below your means for as long as possible while you're young. You save and invest as much as possible as well, and then you retire as early as like your late 30s, early 40s.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it involves being willing and having the tenacity to live well below your means for year after year.
I think I have that tenacity. You might not. But your hair is done and I look like this. So that's the difference.
You know?
I mean, that's the difference. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like to look good too.
Yeah.
But I also want to retire. I also want this to end.
Well, I want to retire, but I also want to travel the world while I have the capability to, you know,
I understand. Tomorrow's
jump out of
never
plane.
tomorrow's never promised.
Mhm.
And there's definitely with everything a balance. But it is kind of comforting to hear that no matter what your age is, like we all
want to get off this fucking treadmill,
Yeah.
this wheel, hamster wheel.
But it is a hamster wheel. And so I guess the onus is on us on how to like mitigate.
Break the cage.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you know what? The first step is having the conversation and being aware of it. And at least we can acknowledge that something ain't right here.
Yep.
And then we have the time to figure out like
Mhm.
what's next, like what comes after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, OP. I hope you're alive. He's
Yeah.
40. He's 40.
Chilling. I hope
Yeah.
you have savings and that you can quit and go to take a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if I was feeling how I feel now or feel like OP come age 40, but I've been continuously working until age 40, I think I would, with great confidence and minimal guilt, take a sabbatical for a year, 2 years, blow my savings. Because at that point, what do I have to lose?
But also, even outside of like a year, 2 years sabbatical and blowing your savings, there are a lot of company cultures that have sabbaticals in the perks, like outlined.
After you've been there 5 years.
After you've been there 5 years, you can take 3 to 4 months off.
Mhm.
But I feel like that is also achievable, doable, and not completely out of the wheelhouse of like considering if you know you need a break, which I feel like OP definitely needs one. Okay.
Well, anyways, I'm sad now, but next story.
Okay. So someone more on par with like our age range and kind of like what we talk about when the camera is off. I do feel like that camaraderie between, you know, Gen X, Gen Z, whatever, like we all feel that way. Here in anti-work, LOL, posted, I truly hate working to live and I don't know what to do. I, 25 female, have been working my current job for 1.5 years. This is the third job that I've had since I was 16. I feel like every day I get up to just go to work and count down the time until I get to leave. When I leave work on Fridays, it always sets in that the weekend is going to go quickly, and I feel so much guilt for not appreciating and appropriating my free time properly.
Wow.
Right? That's something that I feel and have felt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I wake up early in the morning before work and stay up too late at night just to feel like I have some sort of free time. And this is the part that I was like, this is so real. She says, it's not that I dislike my job. I, for the most part, I like my coworkers. The work is easy. There's one coworker who is always on me and jumps on every sentence to critique me, and one who is a complete moron where everyone has to fix their mistakes. But I feel like there's some version of that anywhere that you work. I just generally hate spending so much time working. I need the paycheck to pay my bills and rent, but this is the only incentive to keep going every day. I do not know how to cope with the dreadfulness anymore.
Wow.
How do people do this for decades upon decades? So similar to our previous Reddit listing, like, I think it catches up to you.
It does.
You can do it for decades and decades, but eventually, almost everybody is gonna hit that wall of, what the hell am I doing, or what have I done with my life? And that is a very daunting realization.
It's almost like an itchy part of your skin where your skin might have been a little irritated, there might have been an itch there, but it's not bothering you until you think, oh wait, this part's itchy, and you scratch it, and then once you scratch it, you can't stop scratching.
Right.
Because it's getting so itchy now that you're
Right.
aware of the itch. It's like OP said, how do people do this for decades and decades? The fact that you're having this realization and this thought pattern now, it's gonna be that itch that you just keep scratching, and the itch keeps getting worse of
Absolutely.
how much time am I spending at this job? How much time is not my own? I don't have any time to myself. What is that? 40 hours a week times 4 weeks, that's 160 hours out of the week. Times 12, I can't do math that big. But that's the majority of your time. Every week, every month, every year, you spend at work. You spend more time at work with your coworkers than you spend with your loved ones.
Yeah, we're serfs. Not serfs. We're serfs.
I don't know if we should have taught you that.
We're serfs. There's a commenter under here that says, trust me, I know how you feel. As a 37-year-old male, I feel like my life is a waste. I grew up being told, if you work hard, you'll climb the ladder and be successful. Here I am years later and learn that does not mean shit. I wake up and go to work so I can make some money and then turn around and throw it all at bills or whatever trivial little thing to get some small amount of happiness. Mm-hmm. Hard work always pays off. Is the worst kind of propaganda. Keeps you working thinking that the payoff is going to come when in reality it never does. Some people are just lucky.
Bingo.
Some people really are just lucky.
They are. It's called being a Nepo baby.
But even outside of being
Good
a Nepo
job.
baby, sometimes you're the magical Negro.
Mm,
Like, there are sometimes... Is that the
Candace
term?
Owens.
Yeah. Oh my god. You know how many times I think about selling out? Because,
And
like...
being a Republican to spend
yeah!
money? Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's a big paycheck.
Huge. I feel... I usually am a very positive person. Mm-hmm. Again, the point of these stories is like to share that
There's hope.
There's hope in like the reckoning of it all. Mm-hmm. Like, wow, this does not get better. You could get lucky, but you also might be like the vast majority of people who just get caught up in the system as you're like you're just one of many, and it just kind of is what it is. So either you plan for early retirement or be a business owner, have passion on what you do on a day-to-day because your namesake is on it, or like, I don't know, just like disassociate, turn your brain off, and like get your little pretty little paycheck.
I had coworkers at one job who were going into the stairwell and hitting their pin to get through the day, which kudos to them. But yeah,
you were productive.
They were productive. Yeah, they were doing their job still, but like they could not do the work without doing that once a day.
Oh my
like
God.
Multiple times a day, they tap me. You want to go hit this? No, because if I hit that,
I'm done.
I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, the day's over. Night.
But for them, it was a way to make it through the day, to keep doing their job, because they just could not get through the work. Not because the work was too hard. Probably honestly the opposite. It was just a slog of work. It was tedious work, and that helped them to get through it.
This is the corporate America to crackhead pipeline. Because that's insane. You're going to the bathroom to take a couple of hits so that you can get through your 9 to 5. Like, that's indicative of a bigger problem.
I agree wholeheartedly. But
it sounds like I'm judging, but I'm not.
I know.
I'm judging, like, the system.
I was jealous of them. I was like, I wish I could do that, but I can't.
No,
I would
I
not
can't.
be able to get through the day.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
But I think the positive is if there is one, from this story to those former coworkers of mine, is that we're all feeling the same symptoms, we're all noticing the same things, and when we're all noticing the same things, there's a conversation started. We started a conversation, subscribe, like, follow, retweet, repost, whatever. But like, there's a conversation started. Once there's a conversation started, something has to happen. And maybe nothing's gonna happen for us, maybe nothing's gonna happen for my former coworkers, but there's things happening. There's companies who are doing good things.
I do want to leave this episode on more of a positive note and something that we can do in terms of like mindset reframe. So I'm gonna read the last Reddit story on Find Path.
Okay.
Witty Performance 23 says, I'm so sick of office work. Should I do a career change? I'm 25 years old, I'm married, no children, I technically have made it. I make $75K. Me and my wife pull in $9,300 a month post taxes and 15% retirement. That's pretty good, especially if he lives like in Iowa or something. He
And
says,
no kids.
And no kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Says, but I'm bored. I work in IT. I'm a sysadmin. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science. I am so damn sick of office work. I've worked in IT for 5 years. It's so effing boring. I have no human interaction. Me and my wife have the wealth for me to go back to school, and my work would pay for a third of it. We have 140K in savings and 30 to 40K each in retirement. Girl, I would have quit. Anyway,
Fuck going back to school. I just quit.
I would be like, bye,
Yeah,
I'm
well.
figuring it out. Anyway, he says, I was visiting a friend in the hospital the other day, and it felt weird. In a weird way, I was kind of jealous of the nurses there. Now, I totally understand the shit nurses have to deal with, getting spit on, cleaning up people's shit, and the hours. However, their work just has a purpose. It's hard to explain.
That makes sense.
It does, right?
Yeah.
He says they come home fulfilled, just like my wife, who is a teacher. I get none of that on my job. Oh, and the software we administer for our 100,000 daily users is working today? Great. Password resets? Great. You automate anything in the last few weeks? Write some API calls? Want to learn a new piece of software that will be relevant in 5 years? I've been working in IT for 5 years now. I was wanting to jump ship to get to the 100K mark soon, but the problem is the entire technology sector is just shit right now. I work a stable job, but good luck if I ever leave and get laid off. I would absolutely be fucked in that scenario, but I'm so scared to leave. It's just fucking pixels on a screen. Little to no human interaction. It doesn't help that my hobbies are video games and video editing. I do like weightlifting. Sorry, this just seems like a diary. It does. Poor guy. You know men don't speak to people.
Yeah.
He says, I was thinking about nursing, especially 3 12-hour shifts or something related to helping people or just something with more human interaction in general. I have the money to go back to school. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should get another STEM degree, like engineering. My CS degree almost killed me. And trust me, understand nursing isn't easy either. So this guy just seems like...
He wants to do anything else. He wants to get out. He's bored and losing his mind.
Yeah.
That is rough.
It is rough, but I appreciate that he acknowledged his... privilege in the situation.
He's in a comfortable place right now. He has a lot of options. Like, his options within his sector that he's in now, like he mentioned, is kind of limited due to, like, how the industry is doing. But he has a world of possibility.
Yeah.
He has no obligations. There's no kids saying, get me the $5,000 formula. You know, he's good. He can go back to school. He can go somewhere else. He can quit and figure it out.
Yeah.
He shouldn't quit, though, because he can do the work.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm pro-quit. I'm always pro-quit. But
She
he can keep that job.
The real reason why I pulled this story is because of this comment under it.
Ooh, read it
Yeah,
to me.
so buckle in because it's kind of long.
I'm buckled.
But even I, took inspiration from it. Smooth_napkin said, I'm 25 as well, but no degree, no money, no car, and no job outlook. No savings, barely any food, and no way to pursue an education. I'm making $20K a year as a janitor, and let me tell you, my job is really boring, and I get zero satisfaction from it. You're extremely lucky in the sense that you have financial security and a career at this age. I would kill, not literally, to have that or even the faintest hope of ever having that. I also have extreme mental health problems that make day-to-day almost unbearable. This isn't to make you feel bad. Don't sit there and feel guilty because of what I said. Please don't shame me for my position. You don't know the circumstances that led me here either. But I say this to say because I have learned way down here at the bottom of the barrel of society as a janitor on the brink of homelessness is that it helps to be grateful for what you do have. You have a spouse, you have money, you have at least somewhat good mental health, I would imagine, to be where you are. You have savings, you actually have a future. I'm doubtful I can say the same. I'm at the opposite end of the economic spectrum from you, yet somehow we both feel completely unfulfilled in our life by our careers, or in my case, lack thereof. This tells you something, doesn't it? See, the career, the money, the cars, the degree, it's all an icing on the cake. In my own desperate search in the desolate hellscape we call human society,
Wow.
I've realized I will never ever be happy without one thing. And I know it sounds cheesy, it sounds hippie, it sounds stupid if you're not open to it, but it's love. You have to focus on what you love in this world and pursue it. Like your life depends on it. That's the only way I've kept myself sane. I focus on my girlfriend, on the friends that I have, on the books that I love. I focus on my pets. I focus on my hobbies. See, the thing is, as a kid, you're still in love with the world. As an adult, this gets stomped on. Gets stomped on all of us. You have to learn how to embrace your inner child. I may be a janitor, but this doesn't mean that at night I can't work on my Minecraft videos or that I can't make music and poetry. I can still draw. I can still educate myself on topics that have nothing to do with my job. Hell, right now I'm teaching myself physics and set theory just because I think it's fun. And the thing is, those are the happiest times I have. When I sit down and think about how poor I am and how I probably won't even be successful or financially secure, or how I probably won't ever get my own house, or how I can't even afford to marry my girlfriend because of how damn broke I am, I get depressed, I get hopeless. I'll even let you in on a secret. I get downright suicidal. Real, I'm sorry. He goes on to say, the only answer is to pursue the things you love. For me, I can't pursue a job I love right now either, so I try to think of it like this. I may be a janitor by day, but I'm an artist by night, like a secret identity. Look for ways to have fun. Instead of doom scrolling, go to a meme page. Instead of throwing all your files away, crumple them up and see how you can toss it in a basket for a high score of some sort. Instead of sitting in silence, put on some music. No, really, just put on anything, so that your mindset is in a better place. Don't sit in silence. It's an echo chamber. I would recommend pursuing a hobby, maybe getting a pet if you don't have one. Find some new music you like, try a new restaurant, just do anything, something to break out of your routine. Go to a park you've never been to, make some new friends maybe, I don't know. And in the meantime, since you have stability, just take your time to rediscover what makes you passionate and take all the time to figure out how to pursue it. Also, thank you for posting this. I actually needed to hear my own advice because I was depressed after, today. So I appreciate that we're all in this together.
Wow.
I know, that was beautiful, right?
That was a really sweet comment, really thoughtful.
And long as hell, like I'm thirsty.
Okay, yeah, you said that, not me.
Yeah.
But they're so right about focusing on gratitude. Like, I know people are always like, do a gratitude journal, think about what you're grateful for, da 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 da. It does work.
It does.
When you focus on things you're grateful for, it permeates through your subconscious, or like it keeps you grounded throughout the day.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're so blessed.
We are.
A lot of us are blessed in ways we don't even know. Like, and it's not to say that you have to be grateful just because you're doing better than someone else, than other people in life, but like, I do think it is good to recognize the things in your life that bring you joy, to recognize love. That's not hippie-ish, as they said.
Right.
It might be a little woo-woo, but I'm woo-woo. And
right.
I do love focusing on love. Love is great. I would just love to love everything in my life.
Yes! And I feel like two things can be true. You can be frustrated with the situation you're in, but also recognize, like, your own privileges.
Yes.
Like, hey, it could be better, but guess what? It could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, commenter. And, OP commented under his comment, just expressing his own gratitude for, like, needing that perspective shift. Because a lot of it, to be honest, like, our reality is fueled by our own, like, perspective and what we're harping on and focusing on. So we can game plan it out, but if we're not game planning it out, then there's no real point in dwelling and sitting on, like,
the negative.
Right, there really isn't. That's not productive. At that point, it's just an echo chamber of shame.